It is February 11th, 2019, and this is Atlanta United FC Weekly, a Home Before Dark podcast.
Bravo.
I gotta do that weird, like, look back turkey neck.
Our commander-in-chief, him has now entered the
Oh,
chamber.
thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys are watching live on YouTube, thank you for making us part of your Monday night ritual. I know some of you always do, and we appreciate the shit out of that. I am Tim Herb, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Mr. Kevin Bradley. To my right. It's a little late
I got
there.
all the noises.
And we're joined by one of our favorite people in the world, let alone the Atlanta United community, Delmer Donaldson,
Thank you,
president
Brandon,
of Terminus Legion, one of the more hospitable guests. He came bearing gifts. He brought a bottle of scotch for you. He brought a case of spicy water for me. And then he brought a bottle of wine for Angie. Nobody got left behind because Dan's not here.
Throw up the new scarf on the rack.
Oh, yeah. Right there. The new Terminus Legion scarf. You could show him the backside of it too. Or is it the front side? Which side's the front? The front's the Kings of the South, right?
Whichever way you want to put it.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's fine.
Is it all up?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's it. That's
Oh,
good.
yeah.
And then the back. Let me make sure I got it. Oh, yeah. Where do you guys get your scarves done through? What are you allowed to say?
Are you allowed to say?
It's somewhere on here. Look on
it
the
is
other
on
side.
here?
I think what is it?
Global Scarves.
There you are.
Okay.
Yeah, they do a good work.
That's cool.
Very good
Yeah,
work.
that's a really good quality.
Thank you, Global Scarves.
That's always the thing that you see big discrepancies in scarves, especially the materials. You know, this you can get a lot of detail in it, which
Yeah, they
is
do
really,
very good
really
work.
cool. Some of them are like a little chunkier, like the Heineken one, and the SunTrust one, and stuff like that, or even the Continental one. The heavier fabric, you can't get as much detail. I like the thinner ones that you can get.
The thinner ones are
It's
great
just a
here
cooler
just because of the
design
weather.
thing.
But
yeah.
but there's something to be said for just a really good proper wool scarf.
Yeah, I mean, like the lines and the all aboard right there, just that's really cool. I really like it.
It's a very slick scarf.
Thank you, sir.
I typically am more, honestly, I will say, you talk about the chunkiness and everything. I typically like the woolen scarves or the cotton scarves more than that, but you guys did a bang up job on that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's the detail, man.
Yeah.
If you're gonna, I feel like you got to go one way or the other. Like I like the chunkier designs if it's well integrated on the more wool scarves, but if you're gonna go with the lighter one, which works well in the middle of July in Atlanta, to have a lighter scarf. But then if you're gonna do some really good detail work on it, it's pretty great.
Shout out to our treasurer Claire Hartledge who designed it, and also our
Well done.
head of merch, her husband Bradley, putting all that together. So they
Talk
do
about
very
good
work.
people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good people.
You guys are just a fantastic group of people, man.
Well, thank you.
And we've been very, we talked about it before. We're not officially affiliated with any supporters group, but you guys have been so forthcoming and like proactive and wanting to work with us, and likewise, and being able to open the gates both ways to be able to do things together. It's been fun over the past 2 years, and just more of the same, right?
It's always been a blast, but it's all about developing the community, particularly getting everything started over here with Atlanta United. It stunts everything if you set high, or not really high standards,
If
but
you start to set barriers to entry,
absolutely.
yeah,
That's always been one of the big things with this club over the past couple of years, is the barrier to entry so low.
right.
It's non-existent to certain points.
And that's my biggest fear. One of the things that we want to do with doing some of the reach out shows to other MLS content providers is to reach across the aisle and say, for the new clubs to come in like FC Cincinnati and stuff like that, to kind of break the habit that I think the league, being a smaller league and a newer league internationally for soccer, to get realistic about expectations and fandom and not be so critical and analytical of one another. That we're all here for the love of the game. And while yes, trash talk, it wouldn't be sports without trash talk. Every fan of any sport knows that. But getting into how much history a team has, or they're not fanning right, even within our own community, I don't necessarily agree with that.
Speaking of trash talk, someone to get in here. You see that Loons, that Minnesota United fan, that Twitter page that was bashing their own white kits.
I did not see that.
Our kits are so white, and then had like a dozen of them that
I
was just
saw the Cooligans jump on
tear-worthy.
that. Yeah,
I did not see that. I did not see that. That's
akin
great.
to the old a callback to the Oscar So White stuff from a few years ago.
Oh, Patrick brings up a good point. I don't know how I feel about Garza posting "We Ready Cincy" stuff.
Well, he's probably ready to get hip checked by Escobar if he gets too far up the field.
Yeah.
Garza gets hit checked one too many times. It's just gonna disintegrate.
Oh, jeez.
Gonna have that Thanos syndrome on his hip.
Oh man. Oh, Mr. Stark. I don't feel so good.
Mr.
I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark.
My-
Oh, but yes, to reel it back, thank you guys for tuning in live on YouTube. Leave us a little thumbs up button. Smash the like button, as the kids say nowadays. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell icon.
Kelly. I like
Notification bell icon so that you guys know whenever we go live on Monday nights. You can just flip right over on your phone, on your laptop, on your tablet, on your desktop, if that's your thing.
I didn't have time. It was a busy weekend, but we still have the phone lines open for voicemails at least. And we did see at least one come through during the downtime. And you can get your calls in now if you're live in the trap. 678-827-3297.
Yeah, we got a lot of familiar faces. If you guys are listening to us on iTunes and or Spotify, Stitcher, whatever, I mean, Stitcher and iTunes are really the only ones. But if you guys leave a rating and or a review, please do that. It helps us out, helps us get discovered, especially as we move into doing these behind enemy lines podcasts that we're going to be doing.
Offside trap?
The offside trap. Yeah, we're going to call these episodes the offside trap from week to week whenever we're going to be sitting
down. It worked on too many levels. The trap.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
I just wanted it for that soundboard piece.
The call back to the trap and the homies, and then also just sort of going into enemy territory and luring them in to get their feel for the game.
But leave us a review. We'll read it live on the show, no matter what it says.
Nothing new. Still
Nothing
at 153.
new. Yeah,
Our goal this
it's a
year
little
is 200. So
we want the 500 subs on YouTube. We're at 396, 397, something like that right now.
Setting
So
lofty goals here.
tell your mama, your sister, your auntie, and her friends.
So what's our goals this year? Social. Just let the people know so they know.
11 billion. We're gonna get a Russian click farm for Twitter. So we got that. We got that taken care of. I already got that in the bag. We got 5 million coming.
We're gonna do the NPR bit, right? Like we just need 5 more callers to hit our number for today, and that'll be the last time you hear from us. So
I guess Joe's saying we hit 400 on YouTube.
Okay,
good. Sweet, awesome.
So what did you say you wanted us to hit? 500? You said you wanted us to go 500?
Yeah, 500. Yeah, 100,
so we'll
100 YouTube subscribers.
Another 100 there, and then we're at 153 on iTunes. If we hit 200, we'll stop begging for reviews and ratings. So if we get that other 47, we'll stop for this season at least. Yeah.
So thank you guys for tuning in. We got our normal crew. We got Patrick Keenum, Richard Gordon. It's saying that it almost looks like I'm wearing a Whoops t-shirt. Yeah, I guess so. That's bad form today. Stuck 21 or 2011. Brittany S, Carl Segi, our plant, our Newcastle plant, and then a lot of others. Brian Marshall Voigt saying that he likes the morning show better. Yeah, you're going to be seeing more of that. More than likely, it's going to be remote between me and Kevin for the morning shows on Fridays. Occasional Friday shows.
We'll try to put those over on Instagram. You can find us on everything Home Before Dark, before spelled being the number 4. But we'll figure out some way to get those out. We really enjoyed doing that. Little coffee and chat to get the Fast Stripe Friday started off right.
And then Brian will leave us, joining us for the first time in a while, it seems like.
I definitely didn't vet this out with you, but it might be fun to do that and open it up so that, because you know how you can join.
Oh yeah, we can send invites, and people in their underwears getting ready for their morning conference calls on Fridays.
You don't send invites. You can request to join. Killer Mike does that.
He'll
just open it up and people can request to join his Instagram Live.
Oh, Instagram Live instead of doing it on Hangout. Yeah, I like it.
Just don't call in during your morning constitutional.
Yeah.
Actually, it might be bad. Somebody could do something pretty terrible.
Yeah, that's true.
No, you dirty.
Well, not just that. I mean, you can only do 2 people though. So we'd have to be live together to be able to go and do that with people.
That's true.
Anyway,
that'll be a little awkward,
We'll get it figured out.
In your underwear in the morning.
Get it figured out. Want to hear your voices. Mostly you, Joe Johnson.
First
begging for attention.
First thing I want to address is what Brittany S is saying. Was it a foul on the goalkeeper though?
Yes.
Yeah, that goalkeeper got fouled.
It's around the neck, man.
Yeah. Well, we saw it last year. I mean, Chad Marshall can grab you around the neck, pull you down to the ground. That's not a foul.
It's true.
So
that's a good point.
I mean, potato.
So you want to start with that before we get into
Tomato,
Atlanta
tomato?
United? Talk
Sure.
a little Newcastle.
Did any question in the trap? Did anybody get work done between the hours of 3 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern?
Yes, the first half, because it was just sort of in the back. Yeah, exactly. It was kind of on in the background. I mean, let's be honest. Did any of us have any vested interest in this game outside of Carl Segi in this game, unless it was Miggy playing?
I still have a soft spot for the man who brought a European championship to Liverpool and Rafa Benitez. I'd like to see him.
I can respect
I'd like
that.
to see him keep Newcastle up. Even I feel for him because Mike Ashley's been kind of putting a stranglehold on the purse strings until he finally let them buy Miguel Almiron, and it looks like a player over there.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Quite easily to see him running, even in that foreign baby blue kit.
Yeah,
Just his own arms flailing.
And number
Yeah.
24 just seems weird too.
it does.
Yeah, it seems a little odd, but
So he comes in.
regardless,
He comes
nonetheless.
in 72nd minute, right?
Yeah.
And with the 4-minute stoppage time, looking at about 25 minutes of solid play time. Looked really comfortable to me.
Mhm.
I think he got into a weird kind of what's the word I'm looking for here?
Kerfluffle.
Yeah, back on that back right line, or I guess it'd be his back left, trying to draw back the foul that he thought he was supposed to get. But other than that, man, he almost sets up an assist for a second Newcastle goal. Seems to play space really well. I think honestly, there's going to be a little bit of a growing period, not so much for him to acclimate to the physical requirements of playing in the EPL, but around his teammates, knowing that he's so fast and being able to distribute the ball. You saw him running towards the end of that game, looking for that through ball from the midfield that just sort of dies in space whenever he had the open lane to get that ball distributed on the right side of the field.
Dude,
And they just couldn't get it to him.
I can't remember which minute it was. Like early on in the 80s or mid 80s. There was one left cross that he put in, and that center forward was not expecting that
not
ball
at all. Yeah,
right to him.
Exactly.
Yeah, there were a couple times to your point where you could just see, 10 seconds. You could see there he's playing that lane like 10 seconds prior. Like he's playing that give and go, and they're immediately looking to just spray it up the field for him to go grab it. One thing I'll say is I feel like as we see him start his link up play with Rondon, I think is going to get pretty powerful, because one thing that I noticed, at least in the second half, is Rondon runs his ass off, but he's a big dude. And I think he was getting gassed a little bit towards the end. He would have been getting on the end of some things. I think that he would have been a little more deadly, but Miggy looks at home, man.
Yeah, he does.
He's getting the foul calls too. That first one that he raced to the middle of the field, and
I don't think that he drew that foul. I mean, it was a warranted whistle. I think the whistle needed to be blown there.
I saw a little Miggy in there. I saw a little hit the ground, look up, and then the referee starts kind of trotting over there to point forward. And yes.
So Carl Segi, our resident Newcastle fan, give us 3 talking points in the trap, and we'll run through them. I'm interested to hear your talking points. He definitely got Newcastled. He was quick to say on Twitter following the draw and the dagger in the 95th. So I hate that, but so far Newcastle undefeated while Miggy's been playing. So
Just a reaction. Yeah, I mean, nobody got work done, it seemed like. Yeah. So anyway, they're don't give whenever Kevin was saying Joseph would have finished that, don't give, and then Brian was saying don't give them any ideas. Don't give Newcastle any ideas to come pick up Joseph.
True. That's true.
Oh, we're not gonna have any issues there.
And
He's not going
Wakatata's in here. Shouts out
What's
to
up, Waka?
Wakatata.
Yeah, Wakatata just set up a new website.
Yeah, he's got all your podcast goings on, daily digest or
Everything.
weekly digest.
He's just kind of pooling everything, right?
He
It's
did
just sort of
articles too.
Yeah, he's doing articles,
Yeah.
music, just everything Atlanta United related. I'm trying to remember. Is it just wakatataflame.com?
I believe so. Yeah,
Yeah, let us.
it's on his Twitter page.
Yeah, I know it is, but you can check him out on Twitter. Should be pretty easy to
Well,
find.
it seems like he's already getting impatient, asking what league
Wakatata Flame. Told it.
what league we got promoted to, because we're talking about this right now. But we do have some Atlanta United news. We had another closed door scrimmage yesterday.
Got lots of Atlanta United news. Before we get to the play, should we get into the Stargate?
Yeah, Stargate. The Fargate.
SG1.
SG1, yeah.
So
I like the movie better. Kurt Russell,
Yes.
James Spader, the whole nine. I mean, that movie was so good. The toys were the best thing. Getting the Anubis head toys and the raw. Anyway,
if there was a worse kept secret than the PT signing, I feel so weird. I sound like such a douchebag whenever I have to pronounce it the way it's supposed to be said. I'm just gonna say pity from now on. Deal with it, Doug Robertsons of the world.
But then it's supposed to be for that clown that goes around town who has his pity party. Puddles pity party.
So yeah, worst kept secret around Atlanta United is the new kit design. Speaking of which, shout out to you, sneaky fuck. Got the,
Thanks to Bradley Hartledge for letting me know these were going to be on sale.
new training kit. I like the end cut, man, on the sides, and look, and no belly seam. It's a clean look.
The new polos have a more of a chesticle seam.
Okay.
It just goes right
How
up.
about that? I need something supple.
Yeah.
Okay. So
supple.
worst kept secret around Atlanta United is the look of the kit design. Basically, Escobar
Yeah.
leaked it. We all kind of knew what it was going to look like. What we didn't know was that there were going to be significant differences in the authentic versus replica, and one of those being star versus no star. Interested to hear your thoughts.
So just to give people who maybe are not in tune with this, the kind of the background of what we're talking about with the two jerseys. Obviously, every year, each jersey you get each kit, you get a replica and you get an authentic. And there are differences. Granted, last year and the year before, the differences were, I'd say the home kit in year one, the differences were more subtle than last year. I felt like the jersey, the King Peach one, was more lightweight. A lot more lightweight. It felt like the material seemed a lot different.
Right.
Regardless, this year, star on the authentic, no star on the replica. Female cut of the replica, not of the authentic. Correct. That's
Right.
I have those two things correct.
Right. So there is the sizes stop at 2XL on the authentic. And there's other differences too. You know, we've seen the Georgia embellishment with the gold Georgia outline with the 17 on it on the bottom of the kit on the authentic. That's only on the authentic, not on the replica. I think there's some gold on the collar. That's just on the authentic, not on the regular. And then the back, from what I've heard, is different. The authentic may have the stripes at the bottom, the replica doesn't. So, but the star is the big one. You know, you leave out a significant portion of the fan base. And while I agree with the monetary investment and the incentive to want to make the authentic a little bit nicer or worth the extra money in a manner other than just an extra MLS patch, leaving out the star, I think, is a big oversight, and it's a league-wide oversight, in my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And you know, for everything that we like to complain about when it comes to Adidas, at least it's not Nike, because at least for my body type, it ends up looking like a paper sack with arms on it.
Yeah. The fit of it just seems weird. Like in the leaks I've seen, I want to say, was it Tom who posted the authentic? Or did he have a replica?
That was a replica.
That's why I thought it was a replica, because it's
Adidas Mall of Georgia store.
Right.
He had the replica.
That's exactly what I'm thinking of. It looked cut so different to me than the authentic does.
But Miggy's dad leaked him in the authentic just this weekend. We still haven't seen the back of it, but you can see the gold Georgia and the star and all of that.
Looking at that replica on Tom, it looked like just a
garbage
sack
bag?
with sack with arms on it.
Looks
So
awful.
just the way the cut looks like.
Yeah.
So at least I guess there is some major differences between the
I
way
like
that the
this,
replica is cut and the authentic.
Patrick Keenum saying $5 star stickers outside the stadium. Brian will leave us, hey man, you got that star? And people are walking up to the stadium, the hustlers.
Dude, I'm just gonna buy a bunch
Get
of
your Gatorade, get
I'm
your
gonna
star at the
go-
same time.
I'm gonna go down Buford Highway to one of those little fabric stores, and I'm gonna buy some star iron-on patches, and I'm just gonna sit outside like the Lloyd Soccer or whatever does, doing their numbering on the back of the jerseys. I'm just gonna sit there and iron on stars the whole afternoon.
I was gonna say we have those star stickers that you got from Dollar Tree that you're handing out on Championship Day.
That's true.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the The Pope will be over there at the front of the march handing out stars for everybody. That
Those
doesn't
you
have
can,
it.
exactly.
Brian saying that pick from Thornton looked like shit. What do you guys think in terms of the
Leaking
differences?
it? Well, that and the other thing was some people have gotten a lot of shit about leaking it prior to the kit reveal.
Hey, that was, I mean, that's on Adidas. They shouldn't have
Yes,
put it
that's-
at their
that's not on the
store.
fans.
That's a
You
big-
know,
that's
that's not on
true.
us. I mean, you know, if,
Yeah.
if it's going to be out there, we're going to go get it.
If he-
because
and if
all
he's-
of us are nuts with anything that
Right,
comes with
right.
Atlanta United merchandise.
Right.
And if Tom's not going to leak it, somebody else is going to leak
Absolutely.
it. And then the next person's going to leak it. Or you're going to see a friend at a party and they're going to post something. Something's going to show up on Snapchat. Something's going to show up on
Yeah.
Instagram. I mean, this community, for as big as it is, it's kind of tight knit. 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon when it comes
6
to
degrees of
rumors.
Kevin
And
Bradley.
6 degrees of Kevin Bradley. I think we're to that point already. Yeah, DeAndre saying Lloyd Soccer is going to be pressing on a lot of stars. He said, I can feel it now.
You know,
Just not while you're wearing it, DeAndre.
yeah, exactly.
Then you would feel it.
Yeah, yeah.
So in terms,
I guess my
in
point is
terms
that
of,
it should be if Atlanta is going to be pushing the MLS 3.0 train forward and talking about changing the league, I think a big way to do that would be to back the supporters and to try to incentivize Adidas to do so with the replica kits and the stars. We saw that it's been a successful endeavor over at Seattle.
ooh, we got
And
a little
changed-
bit of
it
a
changed the league standard, I think.
we have a little bit of fact checking going on. Patrick Hansel popping up in the trap for the first time tonight, saying Toronto had a star on the replica kits last year, and in parentheses the white kit, and Seattle did the year before too. Why does MLS keep fucking this up? Maybe a UFC store will have them with stars,
Or maybe it's just the year after they get the star and it's just on the authentic the year of.
or maybe we had a hunch. Was it? I think it was us talking this weekend about it. How maybe that was Mall Georgia Adidas having irregulars that they were selling.
Would
That's
explain
that
the
was
fit.
what I was thinking as well. You know,
Yeah, I mean,
maybe,
they do, dude. I've gotten
We'll see.
sample sale stuff from them before that was irregular, and it's not,
I'm
not,
gonna
not
go
to a T. I
I'm
mean,
not
there's a
gonna go-
reason. It's
Yeah.
we
I'm
know
not
that
going to
this
go as
front
far
office.
to be like, oh no, this is all just a big hoax by the front office. The kit design is going to look completely different for the reveal.
got an intergalactic,
Darren's sitting back there like dance puppets. But no, I mean this front office has never done anything wrong towards its fans and its
Yeah.
supporters. So if anybody's going to support the fans, it's going to be them. So I'm curious to see, you know, maybe this is all an MLS thing since that deal is with the Adidas deal is with the MLS front office, not with each individual
Wow.
team.
It's what happens whenever
So,
you have a single
yeah.
entity league like this.
Yeah.
But then we're also able to the league can support itself, and you're not going to have, you know, a team that's just going to go off the rails like some of these teams you see in the EPL and other leagues.
Yeah, that's true. Even though as a Liverpool fan, I will say I was not crazy about the Warrior kits, but once they kind of New Balance absorbed, I'm sorry. The New Balance kits are kind of nice. Part of me wants to see a little bit of variety though in the league.
Yeah, I would like to see the teams giving some design freedom with their own kits, so you can get Atlanta can bring their own funk into it. Atlanta can bring
Yeah.
their own design, and it's a telling tale is going to be what these Miami FC kits are going to look like. These Inter Miami kits are going to look like, because they better be just like gaudy 80s
Oh yeah,
Miami lifestyle kits, because otherwise I don't think it would look good.
If the away kit for Miami isn't some sort of turquoise or salmon, a la Don Johnson from Miami Vice, or Tubbs from Miami Vice, then I'm going to be a little disappointed too. You know what? Honestly, some of it I just want to see more Southeast Asian characters on jerseys.
Yes.
Like we were talking about Real
Finally.
Sociedad. I want to see somebody go court for a shirt sponsorship, like Atlanta United go to Don Quixote Mexican restaurant in Duluth, where it's all in Korean. The top of it's all in Korean, but it's
Yes.
Don Quixote Mexican
Yes.
restaurant underneath it.
Yes.
I would love to see
exactly what
that.
I
It would be
want.
it would be hyper local,
Yeah.
and it'd be just cool as shit.
Do that with like Coca-Cola.
You know, it would be amazing to see, or just some kanjis on there. It would have been great in the first 2 years with the fusion dance. If we would have had something along the lines of the
Yeah.
Real Sociedad
Yeah.
kit with the Japanese
That would
kanjis on
be
there.
awesome.
Yeah,
That would be
at
awesome.
least I think it's Japanese on the Real Sociedad kits.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys are, we'd love to hear your thoughts on the jerseys, the reveals, anything Nagbe, which we'll talk about in a minute. Anything going on, you can call into the into the voicemail line 678-827-3297. We'll play it towards the end of the show.
Well, so the reveal is the reveal party is this Friday, right?
Yes.
And then it starts at 5?
6.
6.
It starts
They
at 6.
switched.
So,
They switched it from 7 to 6, right?
yes.
Yeah, it was.
There
it was an
will
hour
be-
ahead.
There will be a some engagement beforehand from 6 to 6:30, 6:45, or 6:15 to 6:30, 6:45, and then we'll have the kit reel. Then we'll have some stuff going on afterwards. So what it might be, we don't know yet. The front office, even though through our meeting, they're like, we can only tell you this, and that is exactly what they told us.
I saw that they're going to be playing FIFA on the Halo board. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
I mean, it sucks that it's on PlayStation.
Derek Rushing with a pretty pertinent question. Yeah, that's true too. Are they selling the kits after the reveal?
I think so. They did at the King Peach, right?
I believe so. I'm curious to see that, because that's going to be a lot of stampeding to the store.
I mean, it'll be out at least that Saturday, I would
Yes,
assume.
I would
the
hope
team
so.
store.
Black and Red
Oh,
Friday.
nice. What I want to know, everybody's
Or
been
just Red
talking about the
Friday.
way the kit looks and everything. I want to hear something about some cool packaging, because the King Peach
Yeah.
crate was one of the coolest
Mhm.
packaging, like integrated with the kit design
Yeah.
I've seen. And I hope that they do something similar for this with the star some way. It would be pretty cool, or with the cup or something.
Well,
Be
it's
awesome.
exactly Andy's. You guys are on the same wavelength. or
There it
brainwave,
is.
Saying, what's this year's King Peach crate? Starbucks. Starbucks would be cool as shit.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
or
It
no,
wouldn't be
like
the most, probably
some-
not the most stable design.
Hydra
but-
box.
Yeah. Ooh.
or like
Ooh.
a Mario, or like the Mario mystery box that the star comes out of, or something like
Dude,
that. You know.
a Hydra, but
Nothing can hold more
But-
golden spikes than a Hydra.
dude, it's like from The Hobbit. What the hell was the
Smeagol.
not Smeagol, the dragon's name from The Hobbit?
Oh, Smeagol.
Smaug.
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 Smaug. But we get
Smaugel.
dude, you get like Smaug, but you get a Hydra version, and then it's alternating red and black
Right,
heads.
It's half calf. It's okay.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
fine.
Did you get your double half pump of caramel?
That's why I only got half of it on me. It's just the caffeinated part.
That's fine. You guys just. But Smaug
I
sitting.
just love the 13 Smaug.
Smaug. Chick-fil-A Nuggets box is a good
Smang.
idea. I like
It's
that.
smang.
Tony.
Let me smang it, girl.
Let me smang it. Carl Segi says his new name is Semegal.
Smeagol.
Semegal. No, but he's just sitting on top of a bunch of MLS gold stars.
Ooh, I
and you
like
got red. You got a Hydra though, but he's got red and black heads alternating.
Okay. Ooh, or what if it? I guess it would. If Tata was still here, it'd be cool if they did a little Tata statue bobblehead or something with it. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
From the Tifo design.
Well, don't let that keep them from doing a Frank DeBoer one
That's true.
or Darren Eales. Darren Eales' head would go perfectly on a bobblehead.
Yes.
How long until they start doing bobblehead nights? They haven't done that yet, right? I know they've got them. I know they exist.
If they're going to do a Darren Eales bobblehead, it needs to be Darren's head on Rambo's body, because he's mowing down the rest of MLS.
That's great.
I like it. Yeah. Strap him with one of those crossbody.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. Did Carl ever give his thoughts?
He did. Yeah. We just got the trap just got way too lit, fam.
You guys are getting way too out of hand here.
We're trying to find it.
Miggy is fast for the Miggy is fast for the league. I don't think that the rest of the team knew that. Rafa has trusted him to play all over the place. He looks free and happy. I'm not concerned by the physical side. So okay.
Yeah. He looks surprisingly comfortable, I think, is what I came out of that with. And then
Yeah.
Carl with a good question. Where are our season ticket cards
Talk
at?
about more packaging stuff. We've gotten so needy.
Privileged, I think is the word.
Privileged.
Yeah. We expect so much.
That's
but,
got to be coming soon
but we're sitting
because we're at
less than a month.
Yeah.
Jinx, buy me some Coke.
Do
No.
some coke.
Was that the restaurant the
Jinx-
other day when
Jinx,
somebody
you
was
gotta
like,
do-
"Hey,
Jinx,
can I
you
get
gotta
some,
do some coke?
hey, can I get some Coke?" Somebody at the restaurant the other day.
Whenever you're in Florida, you
Yeah,
never
so,
really
yeah,
know.
you shouldn't say it that way. But true though. I mean, we're sitting one day less. Is a month away yesterday from the first home game. We don't have our season ticket cards.
I'm not going to press you, but how much do you guys find out from supporters groups about all that stuff? Are they pretty tight-lipped about it?
The front office is still tight-lipped about it, even with us.
Yeah.
A lot of the things that we do in that coordination just has to deal with, coordinating match day stuff, just so they know what's going on, and we know what areas we have to work within, what our our ground rules are.
Right.
Really.
So what's the plan this year? Because there's been a lot of talk about the Home Depot backyard.
We're back in the Gulch.
Yeah.
For
There's
at
still
least
some
one more year. Right?
At least one more year. They're doing some construction over there. They're building a new parking deck, the Orange Deck,
Gotcha.
and so that's where they would be, where we would all be most likely parking or something like that. But having the supporter groups next to an active construction site does not sound very
It's
safe.
good because I have my protective gear that I have to wear on site. So I'll just start wearing my hard hat out there.
Yes.
I'll just go do some field reports while I'm out there.
Hard hat and pillows, duct tape everywhere.
Yeah.
I still need to commission Judy, Angie's mom, to make me that mayoral sash that she's been wanting to make me to wear out there. 'Cause Angie gives me shit because I try and stop everywhere to see everybody.
You are out there shaking hands and kissing babies every
Yeah.
time I go out there. I'm terrible at remembering everybody's name, and somehow Tim will not only know their name but also where they were born, what their mom's name is,
you may find it a
what their favorite
microaggression, but
color
I want to
is.
know where you're from.
what their favorite color is. It's ridiculous. I
Yeah.
mean, everybody.
Speaking of where I'm from, Tony Neitzel, good friend growing up, saying, "Where are your plane tickets for the Portland match?" He said, "We have a lot of dispensaries to force Tim to go to. Dude, give me all the CBD. I'll pound it. I'll just be pounded. I'll be so
get your body
uninflamed.
numb. Just make your body numb.
It'll be the equivalent of a float tank in my brain by the time I'm done. Give me a gram of CBD to take down."
So you're in the Gulch again this year.
Mhm.
And do you want to talk about some of the stuff that you have planned at the end of the show, or is now a good time to talk about it?
Anytime is good for me.
So you're doing some charity.
Yes.
Or-
Jason Wells, one of our board members, and I will be
Shout out to the Viking.
Yes. We'll be donating our hair to cancer research. We're going to be raising money for Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. All of the proceeds will go to them, and then all the proceeds from the donation of our hair will go to them. We'll be
Awesome
setting
cause.
up
That's fucking awesome.
we'll be setting up a link. CHOA has internet links where you can, it's kind of like GoFundMe, but actually through CHOA. So you can, whenever you click the link and click donation, it goes straight into their coffers.
Well, that's very cool.
So all of this will be going to the cancer research for the
That's
kids
awesome.
And when are you planning on doing that?
at the tailgate on March 10th.
March 10th.
So
Awesome.
this will be my first time in 15 years where my ears are visible.
Well, I can't grow my hair out. Do you think that they accept beard hair if I grew that out long
Yeah,
enough?
maybe long enough.
Think so?
That's something near and dear to my
That'd
heart,
be-
and I
that would
appreciate that
be-
you guys are
yeah,
doing that. And I think
absolutely.
it's something that maybe, and it's not for people to really look into that much, that gets overlooked whenever you're donating to somebody like United Way or giving to American Cancer Society or even Locks of Love now, who I used to donate my hair to. There's so much, there's red tape now. There's so much in administrative fees. They're not going to your point. I mean, a lot of times, and this is just personal preference, where it goes to treatment as opposed to research. You know, you got. I tend to look at those sort of things, and that makes me very happy that stuff is going. You know, in terms of the money going straight to CHOA for that.
Well, that, and also, you know, soccer on the streets near and dear to all of our hearts, but local charities, I think, is my preference when it comes to doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
Putting the money back into the community and in healthcare networks and charities and organizations that are actually making a change in your neighborhood. So yeah, really,
And
really
shout out
awesome.
to our community outreach coordinator, Rebecca Webb. She's setting up all this stuff. She sets up all of our charities and everything that we do each month. We do at least one a month for the community. And I'm a bad president right now. I'm forgetting what our February one is, but we got one coming up.
It'll come
February.
back to you.
It's on our membership discussion page. I'll have to.
You can
Yeah,
send it
you can
to
pull
us.
it up
Take a
while
look.
Kevin starts going on a diatribe about Gaynor McCann and her Lowe's boxes.
What?
Was that somebody posted that in
I
the
didn't
Slack
say
chat
anything
earlier.
about. What are you talking about?
I'm just kidding. I'm just talking about whenever you go on
I just want to
diatribes.
know what kind of hair can be donated.
Well, what Patrick is saying, you can weave the beard hair into a nice NICU blanket. I like that.
Gross. Be so itchy.
It'll be good. It stimulates movement. The baby's going to want to scratch. It doesn't keep him still.
I feel like my back hair is probably softer though.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, Gaynor McCann is saying must hold a record for how many times you can move a house in 10 years. 6 move packing professional.
Is that how you caught that turtle and got off that deserted island?
Yeah, exactly. I
Okay.
just wove it
And,
all. Yeah, exactly. Just rode it. Just lassoed him.
And Kendrick was the one who said that, and he said, "Is using Lowe's box as an FU to Uncle Arthur."
Yeah, Bill, I get it. I don't have enough hair on my head to give it away. That's why I'm talking about it everywhere else. Everywhere else is fair game.
You guys talking about beards and turtles? Do you guys ever hear the original?
I can't wait to hear where this goes.
Did you guys ever hear the original? This is before Movember. At least in my world, it was before Movember. This probably like
The old proverb on how it got started.
yeah, sophomore
Yes,
year of high
yes.
school. It was don't shave December, not Movember, and it was based on the fact that this guy was walking through the woods and there were a bunch of stranded turtles, and he just so happened to have a long enough beard to reach down and have them bite onto his beard and then pull them to safety, and that's why you don't shave in December.
So stupid.
That's why you don't shave in December. Tony, I don't know if it was you that told me that or Hunter Wolf, but one of you guys, I will forever have that ingrained in my brain. It is the reason I don't shave in December.
Oh, well, thank
Not
you
that I
to,
have much.
to my lovely wife. She's reminded me that we're
Soccer in the streets.
Yes, we're helping Soccer in the Streets. We're doing some cleanup over mowing some of the grass and doing some of the yard work around West End Station.
When is that? Because I would
Or-
definitely like to help out with that.
That is going to be on February 23rd.
Okay. Yeah, I would definitely like to do that.
Thank
And
you,
I'm
honey.
assuming you guys will post any information for volunteers and stuff on
Yes.
website and Twitter and all that. So yeah, be sure to help out. And that's a good segue into if you guys want to come play pickup. They do pickup every night of the week. I think they're up to now, and it varies on which night is at which station. I know for a fact that Tuesdays and Wednesdays and I believe Thursdays are pickup at 5 Points. I know for sure that's Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and I think Fridays is pickup at West End. Just check out meetup.com, station soccer pickup. And yeah, we typically try to play one of those 2 nights and tweet it out. I'll be out there this Wednesday playing at 5 Points. It's just $5 to play. It runs from 7 to 10 and just sort of play 8-minute games unless there's not a ton of people. And then you just play for 2 hours and want to vomit.
Yeah, that sounds good. I got the all clear from the podiatrist this morning. I can
Yes.
start
Love
running and playing soccer again, and
Nice.
I will be out there at some point.
Yeah.
If it stops raining, if it stops,
We're only
being
getting like
disgusting.
3/4 of an inch tomorrow.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Great.
God.
Perfect.
Yeah. Well,
Dude, perfect.
Dude. Oh, good grief. Peg leg. That's not what? Me. Peg leg. No.
All right. So as far as Atlanta United news, we did have the friendly against
LAFC yesterday.
LAFC yesterday.
Petey Martinez with a free kick.
Yep.
Put
Dude,
it in.
They just keep posting videos of him putting. He's going to give taking away Kevin Kratz's job at this point.
I'm a little disappointed that there's not going to be like that LMFAO Kratz chant because he's going to be sitting on the bench more often.
This is true.
I'm curious to see what the bet is between PT and Barco to see who has the most nutmegs this year. Because Petty is just nutmegging guys left and right.
Did you see
And so, like,
Remedi?
slowly and like methodically doing it too?
Yes.
It's not
Just
just one of those
inviting you,
accidental
come closer,
things.
Come
Yeah.
closer, and then boop.
Remedi had a good one that they posted from the LAFC game.
I don't think I saw that.
Just does the pullback and Meg's the dude. It's pretty
I love Eric Rometty so
Yeah.
much, man.
Yeah.
He
He's
is just,
definitely a goofy bastard.
Yeah.
He's hilarious.
Yeah.
just such a good glue guy too.
Yeah.
Just gonna hold that 3-4-3, which apparently it sounds like we might be playing this year.
Well,
in
that
place.
kind of brings up the next point, which is the dynamics of the midfield are going to be changing. Seems that
Are they though? Was the Petey Martinez signing something that was he meant to more replace maybe Nagbe and Almiron in a combination because he can play
Wow.
kind of
wow, bold statement.
the length of the field,
Bold statement.
play an attack? I don't know. He's not necessarily like either player.
I don't think he's going to be in the
One-to-one?
midfield. I think he's going to be on
He's
that
gonna
top
be-
line.
he's
I
just gonna
think
be
the
on the-
top
up in the
line
attack?
will be PT, Joseph, and Vijalba across the top because
So Barco more behind them.
I think Barco is going to be in that center with Remedi.
Ooh.
You're probably right then. Yeah.
Ooh.
Which is interesting because we've seen, I don't know what Joseph has in that silver hair dye, but it leveled up Barco.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He is
Having a center, a midfield of Bello on the left, Barco and Remedi in the center, and then having Gressel on the right, so that you're still able to get Vijalba, Gressel, and PT on the field at the same time. So you're getting crosses from the left from PT, crosses from the right from Joseph. So we're just going to be killing people left and right on headers from Joseph.
I wonder if there's something in that Dragon Ball Z lore about Super Saiyans and changing their hair color. I mean, you saw, I mean,
South American supplements.
you look at the South Americans changing their hair to blonde. Look at Annabelle. I mean, dude's like on a whole nother plane of existence now after he changed.
He can't
his
be
hair.
touched.
That's some platinum blonde.
I mean, I play
Shout
pickup
out
with that man.
Shout out
I play-
ATL Pizza.
I play pickup with those hamburger helper hands, and ain't nothing getting past him and goal, man. He's just swatting them down. He is a wall back there. I'm gonna start asking Guzan or Annabelle here soon, because Latin Heat ATL on Instagram
and at ATL Pizza
on Instagram. But yeah, I mean, he changed his hair to blonde.
It's true.
him.
Aguero just
Aguero.
he buried Chelsea
trounced.
this weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Oh shit, Domer. I legitimately forgot. Oh.
And now you look at what's happening.
I was
with
cheering
Barco,
so
though.
hard for Chelsea yesterday too.
I think there's something to that, though.
Yeah.
well, the one silver lining is that Liverpool's now in second.
Go. More. Fight. Go.
that one trophy is slipping away.
But yeah, I mean, Barco looks amazing right now. And I hope I eat crow this entire season. Granted, I will say in my criticism of him last year, it had to do with his age and his inexperience and his where his head was at. And I think that right now he looks like a man on a mission.
Well, he had the same issues with Assad until Tata finally put his foot in his butt.
Yeah, that's true. It's very true.
So
Nagbe.
Liz, okay.
We didn't finish that conversation.
Right. I was going to say, I was listening to Soccer Down Here today, and Jason and John talking a lot about that 3-4-3 formation, whether or not that's something we're going to stick with, something that's mainly for the Herediano Champions League preparations or what. But it really does throw kind of a wrench or like weird dynamics into the lineup, because if you think about it, last year, we weren't really dealing with a 4 in the mid as much as really 5 whenever we did deploy that 3-back, because you had your 2 wing backs, but at the same time you had that core in the middle, to your point of Nagbe, Lorenowitz, Remedi at the end. I don't know what happens at that point then.
Just so much of Nagbe playing in the midfield to take some of the load off of Miggy that I think we're going to really miss if he's gone.
That's one thing that I didn't bring up with Miggy was I looked at him today and I said, I messaged you, I was like, I think I'm going to miss the shit out of his speed.
Yeah.
Like the way he latches onto balls.
Yeah.
It's one thing to watch the way that Petey can control the ball. Barco can control the ball. But neither of them have that pace to latch on and immediately just pounce the way that he did. I don't know if we have that on that team right now.
Well, if we have Vijalba on the right, if Barco's just going to chip it over a defensive center mid, and then Vijalba's hauling down the right side.
Well, here's the thought. What if Gressel starts to fill that role in the midfield, the Nagbe role in the midfield, essentially? Because we've seen him drift centrally in games before. He played the 10 whenever Miggy was out for a couple of weeks. I don't foresee him playing that position regularly, but we've seen him in the center mid role and help distribute the ball. And we know that he can distribute the long ball or move the ball out to the wing from the midfield if we need him to. But somebody's got to be there to take the pressure off of Petey in the midfield. And I don't know that. I think, not to take anything away from Jeff or Remedi, because I think they're both great and they have their skill sets, but I don't see either one of them filling the Nagbe role.
Well, Remedi's not. That's just not his thing. He's made to be a bruiser there in the center. But being able to have the athleticism that we're going to have on the back end with Escobar and Miles, and then Parker staying in the center and keeping everything home, but having that going from a super aggressive 3-4-3 and being able to transfer that to a 4-3-3, 4-3-2-1, 3-5-2 with the exact same people on the field, and being able to seamlessly change that, going from super defensive to super aggressive to somewhere in the middle. Yeah. I think that's going to be something that will keep a lot of these teams off balance.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there is a fluidity. There is a variety of options that we do have, and it's nice. I mean, the amount of depth that we have in this team is, I mean, we talk about it ad nauseum, but I mean, the fact that we're always arguing about who should be playing in certain positions, it's a nice to have even after you leave, whenever you lose Miguel Almiron. But I mean, Carl is asking, he's asking, where's his quote at? He said, "We are talking about him like he's left. Does the Nagbe story have any legs to it?" I think
with him sitting out purposely and not traveling with the team.
No, he's been traveling with the team. He hasn't been training with the team to that point. I mean, he was in videos with Guzan, and he's been in California, from what I understand, but he has not been in training. But the more telling thing to me is what Doug Robertson had tweeted out, where he said he asked Nagbe for an interview and he declined. It's like there's obviously something going on there. And from my standpoint, all of the commentary around why he wants to leave it just makes so much sense to me.
He has what, a 10-12 year relationship with Porter.
Yeah,
that's the guy who coached him at Akron. That's the guy who brought him to Portland, and also his hometown is what, an hour, 2 hours away from Columbus. So there's so much pulling him there. I completely understand his draw to that.
Yeah, I mean, he's got young kids. He's still 28 years old. He's won 2 championships in MLS. Not to say that he's not aspirational in wanting to go home, because Columbus does have a good core to that team. I think they have the ability to challenge Atlanta United, especially if you change and kind of turn the tables and bring him up there. Columbus becomes a contender immediately. I don't know what the logistics are around roster spots for them right now, but it makes all the sense in the world for them. But at the same time, it kind of I liken it to, I try not to bring up other sports too much, but I liken it to what Paul George did to my Indiana Pacers, when you kind of make it known, and what Anthony Davis just did to the Pelicans, where you kind of make it known that you want out and that you want to trade. And it kind of screws up the things behind the scenes and takes it kind of takes the ball out of Atlanta United's court, and they don't necessarily have the upper hand in negotiations. I mean, if a team knows that he wants to leave, they're gonna they know he might end up being, I don't think he is a consummate professional. I don't think he would end up being a locker room distraction. Yeah. But if it drags on, to what extent is he willing to be patient with it? If this is indeed the story.
Right. What was also the trigger that made it known? It may have been something that was completely inadvertent, or it could have just been Doug, and a lot of our reporters are really good at their job.
Yeah, that's true. So what was the other player comment that we need to talk about?
Oh, Chris McCann got waived.
That was it. Yeah.
So there's been a lot. Well, first of all, I want to know to your guys in the trap. I mean, what is your reaction to the news or the rumors with Nagbe? Are you guys okay? I mean, to me, he helped us win a championship last year. Again, consummate professional. I don't hold anything against him other than the timing and the way that things are kind of transpiring right now. I don't blame him for wanting to go back home and play with his longtime coach and take his kids home.
Right. Let us know your thoughts. You can get those calls in. We got about 10 minutes left before we start.
I like what Brian is saying. It's Atlanta United better ask for that Pelicans package. Ask for Zardes, will trap 12 super draft picks in all of the Cruise International slots and all the Chile and Columbus.
I would just take 2 international spots and maybe about $500,000 in TAM or GAM.
Yeah, I would too. Yeah, we need it.
2 international spots would go a long way for us,
so that we don't have to loan anybody out or put them out at the twos. Let's see. Brittany S. not happy about it. Patrick says they can keep that Chile Acura sponsored, Acura jersey sponsored trade. Patrick Hansel saying timing is dumb with most windows closed. Sorry. Yeah. LA Beaven saying good trade. And then Bill Holcomb just wants the Garber bucks for Nagbe, which is understandable.
Seems like DeAndre starts to open up the conversation about McCann. Didn't like his salary, but without McCann, we don't get the championship. People don't talk about how injured Atlanta United was this year because McCann filled in so well. I totally agree. And my biggest issue with McCann wasn't him filling in. It was the inconsistencies. And I think I completely agree. Atlanta doesn't win that trophy without him over those 2 seasons.
We also wouldn't have had a dirty old man to get the trophy twerked to death over at Magic City.
And the person to get the homeless man signs going with give us your beer and your
exactly.
I mean, to that point, he was a guy who kind of had the deck stacked against him to begin with, because he came in a player without a manager, being, kind of one of the first marquee signings, if not the first signing that Atlanta United made, or was Kenwyn Jones our first?
I'm not sure who
real
the first
signing.
one was.
Anyway, but he came in on a lot of money because he had a pedigree of playing in England, and then he was coming over making money. But Tata wasn't there to that point.
No, yeah.
So Tata wasn't. It wasn't a player that he
Right.
brought in specifically to come and do
Right.
Do a certain thing. I mean, obviously the team probably would have spent that money elsewhere on a marquee player if Tata would have been in place at the time. So he kind of had an uphill climb the entire time, and he was never really played in one position. He was deputized at left back, center defensive mid. At one point, I think just in center mid. He never really had, aside from a stint in the left back position, in that
When Ambrose and everyone else were hurt.
Yep.
yeah, exactly. He really didn't have any consistency. And once he did have some time, I felt like he started off poor, kind of just worked his way back up to being not a weak link in the team. And he was kind of crucial in us making that championship
I
run.
think Anthony Neitzel says it better than anything I've heard. Love McCann, hate his salary. I think
Yes.
that does. I love him. I thought he was great when needed. My biggest issue is the amount of salary that he took up to play that role for the team.
Again, that's not his problem. I
know
don't
it's
hold it
not.
against him.
I absolutely do
hold
not.
it against anybody. It's against the team.
Absolutely.
And I feel like he was. I'm not a McCann apologist because I can spot his flaws, and I don't think he was a perfect
Absolutely.
player. But at the same time, he was absolutely crucial because we had injuries last year.
Totally
to
agree. So, cheers to you, Chris McCann. Wish you all the best, buddy.
Cheers.
All right. So, should we take some calls?
Yeah, we got a couple voicemails lined up, right?
Got a good string of them here.
Go ahead and get the.
Hopefully some of them are inappropriate.
Yes.
Yeah. So we were actually asked that by our very own Bill Holcomb. Is this going to be like the reviews and you guys just play whatever they call in? Yeah. Well, here we go.
Well, we'll see.
First one.
So start putting out.
Whoops, that was way too far ahead. There we go.
Damn, Kevin. Bill, just checking in on this after hours escort service phone line.
After dark.
Figured to try it out, all that kind of stuff.
Try it out.
Try it out.
Seriously, good job getting Larry and Chris on the network. It's great to have another show starting up. Those guys are great. Looking forward to that. Also looking forward to the season kicking off. We need to think about like a real hashtag meet and greet with meats, all that kind of stuff, grilling out before one of the early games this season. So start putting that on the calendar and we'll figure it all out.
Does that immediately just make your brain start pinging and zinging? Thoughts of grilling out?
Oh, I
Smoking meats.
already have plenty of bullets
Tailgate.
in that gun that are ready
Yeah.
for it. Absolutely.
Yeah, really ready.
Like
We
Yosemite Sam of the tailgate meats.
mentioned that on the State of the Union. One of the things we want to do is a true MEAT, meet and greet,
Meet and greet competition.
little meat cook-off.
Don't want to put too much on your plate. Maybe you can just judge.
Pun intended.
You can be a meat judge.
Don't want to put too much
Yeah.
on your plate. Challenge accepted.
Oh,
If somebody doesn't grill up-
smoking some prime rib this weekend.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
I will bring over an entire bottle of allopurinol, and then we will have a party.
Y'all are
Yes.
more than welcome to come over. We're going to be celebrating my wife's birthday with some of our friends, and I'll be making one of her friends feel like less of a man because of my smoked steak.
All right, we got a couple more here. If you want to get your call in, it's 678-827-3297. We got 2 more to play here.
Hey, this is Andy, frequent caller, longtime listener. I just got to ask, man, who's ready to get on some pitch and play some damn soccer? I mean, what's up with this MLS offseason? Is it the longest in the world, or is it just me? I'll hang up and listen.
My favorite
I
thing
like
is
it.
the transcriptions of these. It's like, I just got an ass, man. Who's ready to get on some pitch and play some damn soccer? I mean, what's the what in the MLS all season?
Oh.
2.5 month off season is considered long. It's going to be even longer at the end of this year because
Yeah.
we're going to end in November.
Oh,
I just got an ass, man.
I just got an ass, man. I saw that come over a few minutes ago. What is he talking about?
Andy's an ass man is what I
He's
basically
an
got
ass
out of
man.
that.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's time.
Yeah.
It's time.
Well, I mean, I think it's really good that the season ends because then I can enjoy a little uninterrupted Clemson dominance, and I don't have to split my time. I know you don't
Which
have
Mike?
that.
Which Mike is he?
in
Is he a
humping
2?
footballs?
Is he 2?
I know you don't have that problem with Auburn because after like 5 games, the season's already over. But
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
we're
it's-
too busy buying out a coach by that point.
That is true. Yes. Absolutely.
We're talking about that this weekend. It's like Gene Chiswick's got to have the best gig in the world right now.
Oh yeah, doesn't have to coach anywhere.
Come in, win a national championship with someone else's players, get bought out after you sign an extension, and now you're just a TV host and just coasting.
all right, so we got one more here. There we go.
So a promise is a promise.
That voice.
Since Kevin gave me a shout out, I would leave you guys a voicemail. My question would be simply this: who do you think will draw up more fouls, Barco or Petty or PT, however you pronounce it? All right, you guys have a good one.
Another one that says, "Who do you think will draw more fouls, or Coke, or Pepsi, or Peachy?" Every pronounce it. Every pronounce it is what it says. I just want to read.
Who was that?
It was Joe Johnstone.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That is a voice.
The bearded brethren.
Yeah. The trifecta.
Who will draw more fouls? I think Barco's probably going to draw more fouls. Just
would agree.
his tight control, like the way that he intentionally dribbles towards people and around people. I think that he's so lightweight too.
Yeah, I think so too. I tend to agree. If his first season was any inclination, I think it's going to be Barco. Oh, we got one more in at the buzzer here. Let's do it. This is so fun.
Guys, this is Patrick. My question's for Kevin. I feel like he's the man who'll know this. Do we think the Atlanta United training staff can drive up the road to South Carolina and get some of those Clemson PEDs? Got results for them. I feel like maybe the team could benefit.
Bravo.
I'll hang up and listen.
Oh, that's great. Another one that I really like about this is it says, "God, this is Patrick." My question's for Kevin. So clearly I made it to heaven. So I did something right.
I really like Carl's idea of retweeting or tweeting out the transcriptions. Obviously, we'll black out the phone numbers, but, or maybe we won't.
Yeah, and then it says, "Up the road to South Carolina and get some of those claims and P days." It got results for them last year. Yeah,
That's very true.
you know what?
Are we going to sign Dexter Lawrence as a DP?
Dexter Lawrence as a CB. Get down to 3-point stance. Dexter Lawrence or Guzan. Guzan is in the 3-point stance.
I would take Guzan.
Oh man, that reminds me of whenever we'd play soccer in high school, and then they would do cross training in the off season for football, and we would get some of the big ass linebackers that would come and train with us or play. Yeah, Guzan would get trucked. That's what happens whenever you have Mexican supplements.
That's true. That's true. All right.
I love the headline of that too. Dabo Swinney and coaching staff may have accidentally given their players PEDs.
Whoopsies.
I can just see a bowl of PEDs like Skittles just in the middle of
It's like the
like
Giants
Farva just swallowing them.
just swallowing.
Why do you
the M&Ms.
swallow M&Ms and chew pills?
They all go to the same place. Is that what he said about eating the swallowing the M&Ms?
Yeah.
They go to the same place anyway. It just doesn't make any sense.
They all go to the same place. You know what I mean?
Oh dear God.
God.
Yeah.
So, anything else in closing here? What do we got? So next week, will we record before CONCACAF game? Yes, because that's next Thursday, which is at 10:00 at night. Jesus,
Yeah, that's a bit ridiculous on a Thursday.
I might have to go in late on Friday morning.
I might as well, when we're at KSU, I might as well just walk the 4 blocks over to my office and sleep at my desk.
What time's that game at? Is that a really late one too?
I think that's going to be well, not super late. I think that's going to be about like a 7 or 8 o'clock if I remember right.
Well, that's not terrible.
Yeah, it's not going to be too bad, but we'll be the majority of the supporter groups will be in the gold lot. So over in the black lot, and we'll have the tailgates and march in. And I believe the supporter section will be on the south end of the field.
Bill Holcomb asking kit reveal, yay or nay? Are you guys going to be there? Obviously, Domer, you will be there,
Yes.
right?
I will
Kevin?
not be.
I'm a game time decision at this point. We will have Larry and Chris out there from Stars and Stripes, Solids and Stripes out there recording and probably doing a little interviewing.
I would
crowd
be.
reaction.
I would be remiss if I didn't say congratulations, since we will not be recording again before their big day. But a big congratulations to Andy and Bina Watkins getting married this Saturday. So congratulations to you guys. Really excited.
Oh, the
for-
Pogba signing. We didn't even talk about that at all, did we? We talked a little bit about it last
I
week.
think we talked
On
about it
Friday a
last
little
week.
bit.
I thought we did. No.
Maybe not. Excited.
Yeah.
As long as he's able to keep his emotions in check, I think we'll be good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just don't walk off the field.
Yes.
That's. I think that's what you're alluding to.
If you're going to punch somebody, go after Guzan because then he's going to knock you out.
So anything? Okay. So Domer, your time to shine here. El Presidente. Give us your spiel. What's Terminus Legion got going on? You mentioned a couple of events, the March 10th charity. You got some stuff going on with soccer in the streets in February. What else can we look forward to this season?
We'll have the first watch party over at Second Self on March 3rd for DC, and a lot of people driving up or flying up to DC for that one as well. We've got our Jason Wells has our soccer team playing over at Station Soccer. I believe that's a Wednesday night matches. And then we've got Go Kickball going as well. CK and Rebecca are in charge of that one. I believe we're playing on Monday nights.
Cool.
Over at Hammond Park.
Right on. And who's your favorite podcast? I just want to start doing that to everybody. Get one of those little audio clips like you hear on the radios. Like, hey, this is ludicrous. I always turn in to 98.9 in the morning.
Well, of course it's you. Absolutely.
This is Domer Donaldson, president of Terminus Legion.
After
And I
dark.
always listen to Home Before Dark. Before dark.
Well, it is after dark right now.
That's true.
It
That's
is.
true.
According to Kevin Brown was asking, he's like, you guys have mid-afternoon lighting going in there. What kind of light are you guys using?
We
And
got
I said
that O light.
mid-afternoon
Got that eye light.
delights.
We've got that high school prom light over here in the corner.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we're gonna we're gonna
We'll start
hang up
getting
some
some-
dolls so Kevin remembers to smile.
We're gonna do some.
Dude, we should do a
start doing
Cosmic
those-
Bowling episode.
Start do like page turn video transitions in between things, like the scroll down.
Just a
Some
complete
bad
wipe.
90s music.
Yeah. Oh, Bill, that's right. You say, I always get home before dark.
Yeah.
Mama told me so.
So okay, where can they find you at on Twitter specifically?
Domer Donaldson on Facebook and Twitter.
And Terminus Legion.
Terminus Legion on terminuslegion.com and also Terminus Legion on Facebook and Twitter.
Cool. What about you, man?
What about me?
I don't know. Looking
Can
good.
we just go axe throwing?
Yeah, that shit was fun. Have you ever done that?
I have not done axe throwing.
Axe throwing.
I would find a way
fun.
to hit myself in the foot or in the
Kevin almost
thigh or
did.
something like that.
Yeah.
Kevin almost did. He threw it so hard and hit the back of the the handle, and it
It
just
is
shot back at him.
way fucking harder than it seems. And I got pissed. I just what?
It's way
just,
easier than you think.
just my luck. There would be one more thing that my wife is better at than I am because we went clay shooting after we've been dating for a couple of months, and I learned real quick that I need to be terrified.
Bill saying this year's TL scarves are tight, Domer. He said
Thank you
not
very
sure who
much.
designed them, but tell
Claire
them nice work.
Hartloach.
Yeah.
We just don't want to end this thing, basically, is what this all boils down
Yeah.
to.
Well, we've got plenty of whiskey and bourbon, so I might as well just
That's true.
stick around.
That's true.
I got another like half pot of half calf in there too. I am gonna be lit.
No, I'm going home and going straight to
I'm
bed.
gonna poop the bed tonight.
Just fall asleep with a Swiss cake roll in your pocket. Wake up. Wake up.
That was a fun story we heard this weekend. Our good buddy Matthew Cody talking about his dad falling asleep with a Swiss cake roll in his pocket. And
His mom thinking he pooped the bed.
sorry, Linda and Steve. I love you guys. I love you guys. I just had to put that was too good to not put out in the ether.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
Pull a Bill Murray.
Oh yeah, I like Bill's idea. You should start drinking mate during the show.
Yeah, I don't. It's gonna sound blasphemous. I've never had mate before.
I haven't
More
either.
caffeine than a cup of coffee.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more than. I guess so. More than matcha.
Yeah.
Is
Definitely.
that Chinese matcha will get you fucking.
Oh man.
Get you veins coursing. Yeah.
All right.
Stuck 2011 asking, with Nagbe leaving possibly, who do you see us replacing him with?
I think it'll just be lineup transitions, and we'll have to figure that out as the season goes on.
Anderson Asiedu.
I really like that kid.
I do too.
His energy is awesome.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. We're going to shut this bitch down. Look forward. I think Dan may be back next week. Looking forward to him. He's going to start doing some more short corners, and we'll get him on a regularly scheduled appearance at least once a month. We're going to hold him to it so that he can be in here with you guys, at least remotely. He's obviously juggling a lot of responsibilities, and we want to have him a part of this however he can be. So
As always, Hail Hydra.
as always, Hail Hydra. We do have lineups and confirmation with our first 6 outreached MLS content
We
providers.
do, yeah. We'll be joined first by the filibuster.
Filibuster's the only one that's tentative for DC United. We'll be reaching out to them to follow up, but they seemed interested. But
Yeah.
everybody else we've got lined up all the way through the middle of April. So you'll start seeing those come up. We're going to figure out how we want to do that. If we're going to do a separate live show with those guys, so that since it's called Offside Trap, it only makes sense that we do it as a live broadcast separately, and we can get your questions live as we talk to those guys and gals. So look forward to that. I don't think we have anything really special coming up this week going into our broadcast next Monday, but you can always find us on Twitter, Instagram, wherever, at Home Before Dark. That's before spelled B and the number 4. You'll start seeing some changes to the website. We got a new theme up and still working forward.
Yeah,
with,
we're working through things. Yeah.
plans for
New t-shirts.
2019.
T-shirts. Yeah.
Got some rad shirts coming. Watch the State of the Union. We got big plans for this season, and hopefully this week we start taking steps towards some of those plans.
Damn it. I meant to start the show off by saying this episode is brought to you by us.
Exactly.
Go to
Exactly.
gethomebeforedark.com/shop. Go buy
Yeah,
a
look
sweet
forward
shirt.
for some new flags flying in the supporter section as
Ooh.
well.
Flag season, guys.
Yay.
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to seeing you with that new design with a white blazer on and
You
pink
know it.
bandana.
You know
it. Yeah, it'd be great. All right. Love the hell out of you guys and girls. Thank you so much for spending your Monday night with us each and every Monday night. If it's your first time or if it's your last time, I'm glad you tuned in and showed out. Check us out on iTunes. Leave a rating or a review to hear it right on the show. We got goals. We can't meet them unless you guys help us. So give us a hand. We'll see you next time. As always, be home before dark.
Something about Costa Rica. No, because I miss Dan's